Hey there, and welcome to this Q&A where we will get into some interesting questions from you all. So, since I've got a lot new subscribers, thank you so much, by the way. I wanted to do a little Q&A and I asked you in the community tab if you have any questions, and I'll try to include as many as I can. So, without wasting any time, let's get started. The first question is, are you in any way a professional artist? Like, did you go to an art school? Do you have a university degree or something? If not, what is your actual profession? This has quite a lot of likes actually, and I think it's funny because it implies that you have to go to university to study art in order to become a actual professional artist, which is not true at all. And I don't think that the person meant it in that way, but that's the way it comes off. And you honestly don't have to study art, go to art school or anything like that to be a professional artist. Really, absolutely not. There are so many people who are professional artists who did not go to art school. I am in a way a professional artist because I do earn money with art. I do not earn my entire living with art. I am a graphic designer full-time currently, and I did go to college for graphic and communications design. Can you show us some highlights of the evolution of your style and technique? I will try to include some snippets in here. Editing me will love me for that. Maybe weave a narrative in there about your influences or other factors that led you being where you are artistically. Perhaps you could speculate about other directions you might have gone in. Wow, this is so deep. I don't really think about my art as intensely. I think I just keep doing what inspires me, and that's honestly what has kept me going this entire time and what has kept me motivated, just doing what I feel like. I honestly don't think about my art as deeply or as much. I just do. I do what people want to see sometimes here on YouTube. If I see that you like wash tutorials, I do more of them because that's just what it's like to be a YouTuber. But honestly, I just do whatever inspires me. And I think that I've grown quite a lot, but I couldn't really pinpoint it to any specific styles, or I don't know. I think it's always easier to see that if you aren't the artist yourself. Was there a massive life-changing moment that led you here as a successful YouTube artist, or was it more of a series of small moments? Yeah. Okay, so I'm a successful YouTube artist now. Yay! I don't know. I just kept going. I started to upload videos 2.5 years ago, and I never really quit. I had some breaks in there, but I never really stopped doing that. So I don't know. It's been gradual, and thank you so much for all your amazing questions. Could you maybe talk about filming and editing process and maybe how you plan art classes? It's more like I don't really have a structure, to be honest. The most messily organized person that you could ever think of. If I have too much structure, I lose motivation and I don't want to do it. If I have a super tight structure for how I'm going to do something, it's not gonna happen. I'm not gonna feel inspired to do it. So most of the time I just get started anywhere that I feel inspired, and just keep going, keep doing the thing, preparing the video or the art class, and until it's done. And it's a bit messy, and I think that my classes are a bit messy, but that's honestly the only way that I can do it. Sometimes I will start recording the voiceover and then later on add the pictures and the videos. Most of the time, I will at first be filming and then editing that down to a video that you can already watch. I will watch that video while I am doing a voiceover, and then you have the finished video. And for art classes, I do have some lists where I can pinpoint the videos, the separate videos that will go into that art class, but I don't have a huge structure. I very rarely have a script. If I have something very important to say, I might have a script, but it's very rare. How do you go about using gouache, and what's your favorite art medium? I love you and your channel so much. You really inspire me. Thank you so much. Gouache. I have a Skillshare course about gouache. It's called Gouache 101, and it's a beginner guide. So if you haven't checked out that one yet, I highly recommend it, because I put everything that I know about gouache in there, and I will probably do an updated version at some point, because I keep learning and keep exploring more things about gouache. So it's really not a quick question to answer. Just I really recommend that class. I will, as always, my Skillshare classes are linked in my description box, and you can get 2 months for free with that link. So make sure to check it out if you're interested in that. My favorite art medium, that's really hard. I'd have to pick between gouache and watercolors, which is ridiculously hard for me. I might do watercolors, but I would really, really miss gouache. So I only have one thing in mind: help me fill my sketchbook. I just don't have any idea what to create. I don't have my style. How can I find my style? I don't think that I have any kind of style either, so it really doesn't matter. Just take your sketchbook, any kind of pen, or any art supply that inspires you, and honestly just create anything, and anything that you feel like creating, anything that has been inspiring for you. If you love plants, then draw some leaves. If you love, I don't know, animals, then draw those. It really doesn't matter. Just get started, just do something, and keep going and going and going until the sketchbook is filled, and you'll be like, oh, I've done that now. What's next? And then you will open the next sketchbook and just keep going. And maybe one day you will have a style, but I would not focus on that at all. The next one ties in with the question perfectly. What do you describe your art style as? I'd say colorful, a little bit messy, all over the place. And I don't really have a style. Do I? Do you guys think that I have a style? I honestly couldn't say that this specific thing is my style, but yeah, colorful. That's for sure something that you will find in every art piece of mine. What's your favorite video? Do you have any pets? What's your favorite sketchbook? And what's your favorite art piece? I don't know if you mean favorite video in general or favorite video of mine that I've ever created. That's a really hard question. I honestly don't think about things like that as much, because I'm this type of person that will create something and then instantly move on to the next thing. I don't really get hung up on anything. I don't get hung up on other people's work as well. I just like what they're doing and like what they're doing next. I just love that creating never stops. Yes, I do have pets. I have 2 hamsters, and one of them actually kept me up this night, and he loves to chew on his ridiculously huge terrarium, and they are really cute though, so I really, really love them. What's your favorite sketchbook? I'd say it's the Moleskine watercolor sketchbook at the moment. What's your favorite art piece? I will try to insert as many of my favorite art pieces that I have here right now. How do you keep a positive mindset about your work? I often feel like my work's never good enough, or at the standard I want it to be. Yeah, it's honestly what I've already said. I just keep going. I don't think about my art as much. I don't get hung up on it. I don't look at it as much. I just finish it and then move on to the next thing. And I try to focus as much as I can on the creating process and as little as I can on the outcome. I'm a new art YouTuber. Please motivate me on doing some more videos, like topics on how I can improve, because I love your art and I think you will motivate me. Oh, thank you so much. So I'm actually currently preparing a Skillshare class on how to grow a successful art channel on YouTube, and I hope that I will answer a lot of those questions in there, and I will talk about mindset and motivation, so stay tuned for that. What does your art schedule look like? Weekly, monthly? Do you have a business plan or business goals? I love what you do. Thank you so much. So my schedule is like I have 1 or 2 months in advance planned what kind of video will go online, just because I have so many art supplies that I need to review right now, and so many things that I have planned where I'm sure that I want to do this certain video at this certain time. So I actually do have a schedule at the moment, and it's one video every week, and my art really follows my YouTube schedule. So I film most of the things that I draw or paint. Most of them end up on my YouTube channel. So that's honestly what keeps me creative and what keeps me going, because I have to create a video. So I have to create an art piece for that, or multiple pieces depending on the video. And sometimes, if I feel like it, I create more art that's not on camera, but there's no schedule for that. That's just for fun. And I had a business plan at some point, but my goals have changed a lot in that time. But I might review that plan at some point, because I think that over time I might come full circle and actually do the stuff that I put in the business plan. But that's really things for the future. How do you get time for painting? That's a good question, because I have a lot on my plate, and honestly, painting is just a small portion of what I'm doing for my business right now. Most of the time, I end up creating and sharing my videos, and yeah, I just have to make time for that. I get up early in the morning to film. It's 7 a.m. right now, and I'm going to head to work at about 8. And I honestly just get up early in the morning to create videos, to paint, to prepare everything, to work on everything. That's just because I'm most productive in the morning. Some people are more productive in the evening, and I will occasionally work in the evening as well. And by occasionally, I mean most of the time. So I honestly just get up early in the morning, start filming, and then in the evening I will be filming some more or editing. I will create something. If you want to do something, you will find the time. What art books do you recommend? So I don't really have art books with how-to stuff and how to paint or how to draw. I have one of these, but I didn't really read it because I don't find it that interesting. But what I do recommend, and what's my absolute favorite book of all time, is Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert, and it honestly changed my life. I recommend this book so much. If you have any questions about motivation and the creative process, this is the right book for you. Could you give a little background about how you started your art journey? So I've always loved painting and drawing when I was a kid. It was my absolute favorite thing to do. And I didn't even talk to the other kids in kindergarten because I wasn't interested in them. I just was very interested in all those colorful pens, and I just drew the entire day. It's what I loved so much, and I just kept creating, but it became less and less the older I got. And then I actually got into photography when I was about 16, which I also started a business on when I was around 20, I think. So that was actually my first business, but I found out that I don't really love it as much as I thought I did, and it wasn't the right thing for me. So I quit that, and then I got into drawing and painting again just a few months after that, because when the photography wasn't there anymore, I needed a creative outlet, and I started with journaling. I started with art journaling, just making collages and doing simple drawings, not putting any pressure on myself. I had so much fun with that, and then it all started to grow, and at some point I thought that I would create this channel, and that's where it all started to happen, and that's where we are right now. How many of your attempts at painting go to waste because you're not happy with them? Not many, honestly. Very, very few. Most of the paintings I will upload, because that's what I want to show the world, that not every piece is going to be perfect. I'm not going to like everything that I'm going to create, but people might like it anyways, even if I don't. And it really doesn't matter if I like it or not. I have created it, and now it's there, and I'm going to upload that. That's the kind of mindset that I'm going with here. So I think that I've now answered most of the questions. I'm so sorry if I didn't include your question, but maybe your question just wasn't relevant to my current journey and I just don't know the answer. Or maybe it was answered by answering another question. So that might be the case if you had a question. If you have any more questions that I didn't answer in this video, just let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to answer to as many questions as I can. I really hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you did so, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.